Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
What's new, man? What's going on?
Nothing, man. Appreciate the invite down here. I'm excited to come. Basically we've got this couple festivals coming up to farm. The next festival is a Enchanted Fairy Festival. So we have anything enchanting and all from dragons to mermaids to fairies to you name it. I mean, there's multiple things, cyclops, just about anything you can think of.
Hell yeah.
So
before we get too deep, let me introduce, this is Mark Newton, everybody.
Appreciate it.
And this is the owner and proprietor of Dallas Lavender Lane Farms in Dallas, North Carolina. Enchanted Fairy Festival, whose idea is that? Is that something that you're putting together, or are you working with somebody on that?
Well, we had a hippie festival not long ago, and we noticed this little girl walking around with the fairy suit on. And so she had caught our attention. We walked up to her and asked her, said, hey, what are you dressed like? And she said, well, I'm a fairy. My name's Acorn. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, Acorn. Yeah. So, which I thought was really neat. I mean, the costume was really neat. Even her old setup was neat. And I said, do you have like fairy festivals out there? And she goes, yeah, there's a bunch of fairy festivals. I knew nothing about it, absolutely nothing about it. She said, I'd love to have a fairy festival at the farm. And I'm thinking, well, here I am advertising all my friends. I'm having a fairy festival. You know what I mean? I have no idea what it's about. But I decided to go ahead and do it anyway. And the response is overwhelming of how many people.
So it's turned into more than just fairies. It's everything enchanted.
Everything
it's like
enchanted.
a little mini Renaissance festival kind of thing.
Basically, yes, sir.
Well, Latta Plantation Park had a fairy house festival for a long time, and it started off very, very small, and it's gotten to the point now that you had, like, it was free, and you had to get a ticket because it got so much over the years. Because I've gone for a long time, and then it's just to the point they can't hold the people in the park that want to come. So nice. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's going to be good.
So fairies and enchanted kingdoms aren't your area of expertise. Talk to me before we get too in the weeds with what you got going on. Let's tell your story a little bit. Okay. Tell me, where did you start? How'd you end up owning this farm? What'd you do before?
And why lavender?
Well, what happened was I was renting or leasing a place. It was a small farm, about 10 acres, and the guy was in the process of he lived in Florida, and they was in the process of bankrupting. He's in the process of getting bankrupt on, so had to find somewhere to live. I kept riding.
So you were living on this farm,
and it was in Stanley, which is probably.
And you were leasing the property.
I was leasing the property.
What were you using the farm for?
I wasn't really using it for anything. I mean, I had a pet goat and a pet pig, but I wasn't really using it as a farm. But as I was searching for a place, I kept riding through Dallas, and I noticed this long driveway. I mean, it's a real long driveway. Had for sale sign on it. So I called my buddy up. And I said, "Hey, Jody," I said, "There's a farm I want to look at." I said, "It's off Old Will School Road." He said, I gave him the information. He said, "Oh, Mark," he said, "that's a 1-bedroom cabin." I said, "1-bedroom cabin?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, I spent a lot of money on one." I mean, this long paved driveway, everything's, the fence, the whole 40 acres fence, basically, it's nice. So I actually Googled it and pulled it up on the maps, and I noticed it was 2 stories, and I made it, like almost a U shape. Mm-hmm. So they didn't update it. So I actually called them back. We went and looked at it, set everything up. I ended up buying the place. Loved it. Loved the place. Had a nice pond, but still love the place. But I was thinking to myself, what am I going to do to make money off this farm? That's the reason I bought it, to make money. I want to eventually work from home. So I went to my ex-girlfriend, she likes lavender. They had some lavender festival out towards Raleigh, so it was on a Sunday. We got there probably about 10 o'clock in the morning. There's 300 cars there. They probably had 75 to 100 plants of lavender, but they were selling popsicles, lavender popsicles for $4 a piece. Had line 20 people long. I mean, the marketing was amazing what she did with the little bit of plants she had.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, I could do this. You know what I mean? I could do this for sure. And I could make it a lot prettier and do a lot more towards it. So I got motivated, started tilling, putting the fabric down, planting. Very hard stuff to do, by the way. It's very hard.
Yeah, it's funny when you get that wild hair and you're like, I can do this, and you pull the trigger on something. I can fucking relate, dude.
And you're in the middle of it, you're going, oh my God, what did I do?
Yeah, you start getting it over your head, and you're like, shit.
Yeah.
And then you have a choice to make. Am I going to see this through, or am I going to waste all this time and energy and walk away? So
make a
you
choice,
dug
yeah.
in.
Absolutely. And I was too deep to quit, you know what I mean? So, and my pride wouldn't let me do it either. But so we eventually got the lavender field up, and we had a lavender festival, and it was during COVID, during 2020.
Yeah.
And it was huge. I mean, nobody else had anything going on.
I was there.
Oh, awesome. I appreciate you so much. and then I told myself, you know what? I could do just more than the lavender festivals. Maybe I can do other festivals. And you know, that's where the hippie festival came in.
I was there
at.
to that too.
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, this really should be a discussion between you and Ariel, because
I've vended the hippie festival 2 or 3 times.
Well, this year you get a VIP pass. Okay, it
I
comes-
didn't do it this year because we had so much stuff going on here.
yeah, I mean, I first became aware of you guys. My wife, or my family rather, we had been going to the Hickory Festival up in Salisbury.
Oh yes.
Up until COVID, we were going every year, and then I think they canceled it because it was in May, so it was like right when the shutdowns happened.
Yes.
And then a few months later, I saw another hippie fest pop up, and it was in Dallas, and I was like, well, "What is this?" And I wasn't sure is this the same people or whatnot, but you have a completely different group of people that put yours together, right?
I do, but it started off the same festival.
Okay.
I reached out to them. I mentioned that I had a farm. Mentioned that we would do a festival, on the farm here in Dallas, and they agreed to it. So we ended up doing promos, advertising. They sold, maybe 1,000 tickets, 1,500 tickets, and then all of a sudden I get an email saying, "Hey, listen, I'm sorry, but the farm, a lot of stuff burned down at my farm. I'm not going to be able to do the festival on your farm. I do apologize." And all these people are planning to come to Dallas, to the hippie festival.
Yeah,
They've
you're
already-
like locked in. Like
Exactly.
it's too late.
So I said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have a hippie festival. It might not be your hippie festival, but I'm
So
going to
you
have
just
one."
took ownership of the event since they backed out, and was it difficult to get in touch with all the vendors and everything, or?
Well, actually, no, because what I done was my festival was after their festival, so it really didn't involve that most of our vendors go to both festivals. A lot of our vendors go to both festivals actually. So, but it didn't affect it as much. But the problem was because I had to change the date, which always messes things up. So the week before that it was supposed to be, people were still showing up ready for the hippie fest. Yeah, so it was apologizing, give them a free T-shirt, send them on the way, but what I could just to make up for it.
So I gotta say I love how you've taken this space and you just keep finding new things to do with it. It's really cool, and I guess now is a good time. Where would people find information on what you have coming on?
Yeah, you can go to our website at DallasLavenderLane.com. We're also on Facebook as well under Mark Newton or DallasLavenderLane.com, Instagram, Twitter.
So it's not that hard to find.
No, sir.
You can keep up with all the upcoming events, and you and I have started talking about doing something together on the farm. I've been out there a few times, a handful of times. I've been to the hippie fest there.
Yes, sir.
And it's really cool, the layout. It's going to be hard to describe this. But when you pull in, you've got your main area with your little gazebo. And
You're not doing it, Justin.
okay,
Already failed.
I'm gonna let Ariel paint this picture.
Okay, so when you come up on the farm, it's you've got this nice little fence and it's a little tree line. The parking area, there's a little play spot for the kids. You go in, they got their building where they sell all their goods, and they've got their lavender farm right in the front. They got their gazebo and all these little cute little intricate things that are scattered all over. Then you go down to the back part, and that's where like the animals are. And I'm pretty sure that what's the name of the pig that wanders around all the time?
Grunt.
That pig is a trip. You got to check out the pig. But yeah, it's just nice and peaceful and laid back.
Yeah, and
Thank
now
you.
you've got this main area where like all the stuff happens, but you've got so much more space to work with.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we've talked much about this with you guys, but Mark and I have started a discussion of hosting like a festival out
Absolutely.
there.
Talked about it.
Yeah. And I think it's, I don't want to give too much away because, who knows if it'll ever even happen. But, there's potential to have, thousands of people
Absolutely.
out there
Yeah.
at like a music and vendor festival out there. So, we're going to keep plugging away at that. But tell me a little bit about some like interesting events. Like, have you been approached with something and been like, I don't know if I want to do that? Have you been surprised by something that you didn't think would do well but did, or vice versa?
Well, like I say, the Fairy Festival right now has really surprised me because I was I was sort of doubtful about doing it, but she was so positive that she talked me into it, and like I said, the response of it's been great. Surprises, yeah, I've had some surprises before for sure. We've had people show up before we even had any kind of festivals at all. Just maybe dressed as Renaissance, maybe dressed in we had 2 people show up in dinosaur suits that just sit there and make videos all day. I mean, just it's we're getting all kinds of characters come by there. And then of course we do lease our pavilion out for festivals and parties too, private parties and weddings and stuff like that. So we've had some exciting times during that as well. But all in all, everything's been pretty good. We're looking forward to our next festival maybe being some type of Latino festival. So that's one that's been brought up to us on our website, and we're very considerate. And we're
Like a Hispanic music festival, or like a cultural kind of.
the sort of a cultural. So we don't just so we get multiple places. Anything from Latinos really to. I mean,
if you do, I'm coming just for the
The food's going to be the best.
Just for the food.
It's
And
the best
when you
food
say just for
festival.
the food, it was the hippie festival where I met Angel from Blue Ocean Delight.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Blue
that's
Ocean
delicious
Delight.
too. Yeah, I love that
Like
food.
our festivals here, we
Yes.
try to get him here every time.
Yeah,
Especially
he's-
in the summertime, that ceviche just hits perfect.
He's awesome too. He'll go live. He'll out there dancing.
Oh, yes. He's so funny.
He's always got some music pumping. He's always got a big smile on
Very
his face.
positive
Yeah.
guy too. Somebody at the last festival with the hippie festival, he came up to me the next day. He said, "Mark, somebody backed into my tent." I said, "Really?" I walked up there, and sure enough, it was bent. I was like, "Hey man," I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I can't believe somebody hit your tent and take off." But anyway, so he said, "Well, you know what?" He said, if they maybe they just didn't have the money to pay for them, Mark. I don't know. He said, "I'm not mad about it." So 2 days later, I get a phone call at the store, and the lady said, "Hey, my husband backed into somebody's tent. He was so embarrassed he would not stay, and I'm making him pay for that. And please
Aw.
let me know what it cost." And gave me her name and number. So I call him up. I said, craziest thing ever. I said, the lady actually called and said that she was in the truck when her husband hit the tent. She told him to stop, but there's really nobody around, and she decided to call. She just couldn't, just on her conscience, she'd call, want to give you the money. He said, "Mark, I already took that thing back to Sam's and told him it was a defect. They gave me a new one
Yeah.
for free."
Nice.
So that's the kind of guy he is. He's an
Yeah.
awesome guy.
Yeah.
I
He
just,
is.
I can't help but think about the 2 days of like tension between the married couple. Like, you should have said something.
If it took 2 days, there was some harsh
You
words
know there
in
was an
that.
argument, right?
Absolutely.
An argument
Even
was
just on the
had.
way home from the moment they left.
Are you leaving? I can't believe you're leaving.
Tell them.
Oh, yeah, that was an argument. It totally was.
But yeah, like I say, he took it on you. He was really nice about it. Like I said, he ended up getting it back, a new one anyway, so everything worked itself out.
Right on.
Yeah,
Now-
I would definitely go for the food for that.
yeah. Latino or Hispanic festival sounds wonderful.
Yes.
So, have you had any requests that you've been like, "No, I'm not doing that"?
We've had some requests that that there was several like they want to come out and do a rap video, and it was they had certain things that they wanted to bring, and it's
Stuff you weren't comfortable bringing.
yeah,
on
just stuff we're comfortable with. I mean, we advertise to a lot of people that bring kids and stuff to the farm, so I just didn't want to get the wrong. I want everybody to think,
Two things on my mind right now: drugs and twerking. Yes.
Bringing the kids to the Lavender Farm to go look at lavender.
I'm just trying to figure out where hip hop and Lavender Farm meet. I'm not picturing it.
They actually sent us some video up front because I just want to see what it's like, and that's what really made me decide not to at the time. It was pretty. It wasn't PG. I'll just put it that way for sure.
Gotcha.
I thought you were going to say like a swingers fest or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like a nudity convention
like
or
a
something
big-
like
That's
that.
a lot better. No, nobody said that. Hey, if
Dang,
you
what
want
was on that video?
call me. So we will talk about it.
More people driving by the farm will get an eye full that day.
Yeah, I had a couple come in here one night to a show, and they were a nice enough couple, right?
Right.
They were cool. Didn't know nothing about them, never met them before. They were having a good time, and then another couple came in and joined them, and they were all hanging out. And then not a lot of time went by. Next thing I know, I'm looking over, and they're all like making out with each other's spouses. I was like, oh, okay. Whatever, kind of brushed it off. But before the night ends, the couple that came in first got my attention, and I was like, "Hey, I want to talk to you about having a swingers party here."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like it's."
I don't want to have to
something
mop
should
the whole place
do.
again.
I know that's probably.
As long as nothing goes down here, you take it outside.
The farm you're outside is kind of easier to digest that, but in here it just felt a little creepy.
No, I completely understand.
It was just, it was fucked up, man. I kept looking over and they're all like making out with each other. I'm like, this is weird, man. I don't get it. Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't warn you with the upside down pineapple, did they?
No, they did not. But it's whatever, to each his own. I'm not judging. I promise I'm not judging. It's like, have at it, have a blast. It's just not for me.
I understand, brother.
Yeah.
So you've had a Jeep festival?
Oh, yeah, we have Jeep festivals too. And our Jeep festival, really like our Jeep festival. We have I've got a dozer, and we usually go through and prepare the fields before they come. We have like say we go, basically we'll cut out about 20 acres and make ramps and puddles from to go through, and we'll have like an easy trail in case they just want to
Just ride.
yeah, and see the.
Do you
see the
have
place.
like bike trails or 4-wheeler trails?
Yeah, I do.
Because I'm sitting here thinking there's an
like
opportunity.
a
Reach out to
BMX?
Red Bull.
Oh yeah.
Because Red Bull sponsors a lot of like motocross, and
Motocross and
BMX.
BMX
Monster and
stuff.
Monster and Red Bull.
And you
and any
could
of
you
those,
could
yeah.
even start hosting those types of like motorsporting events
That's a
too.
great
out
idea.
there.
Absolutely, brother.
That's that you're talking about that backfield where people camp for the hippie festival?
Well, if you that backfield they camp
Yeah.
at, if we actually we've got a road we took down to the pond,
Yeah.
and it goes way back in the property.
Yeah.
And then we cut another road all the way around to basically all the way around the whole place.
It comes and connects to the
It connects,
okay.
connects to the big field you park in out
Yeah.
there. So we do have the trails now. Like I say, it grows up. If I don't, it takes me like every 3 months, 4 months, I could go and just clean it up a little bit,
Yeah.
which it needs to be cleaned up right now. But we do have Jeep festivals, and they're fun. They're real fun. We have a blast at Jeep Fest.
People love their Jeeps, man.
I remember
Absolutely.
the first one. I was like, "That's interesting," but I didn't. I thought it was. I thought it was more like a car show, but I didn't realize you had like the ramps and stuff. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so
I would just come
a lot of
watch
them.
that.
We'll hand out trophies, and usually do around Halloween, and then they'll have the kids dress up for Halloween. We'll give them Halloween
Been to that
prizes.
too. My kid actually won best costume for their age range one time.
Oh, awesome!
See, I'm out there all the time.
Oh.
So do you do stuff with the lavender?
Yeah, we do. We make products. We do anything from beard oil to facials to foot cream to lip balms.
What's
Simple
the brand? Or
syrup?
is the brand just the farm name?
It's the
or-
farm name.
Farm name.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we do oils. We get have oils that we send our buds cut up and grooved, our food graded buckets, and we'll have them convert it to oils and send it back to us in little bottles.
You said the one up near Raleigh had like 75 plants or whatever.
Yeah, I have about 75 plants.
How many you got now?
Well, right now I probably don't have it. We're in the process of redoing the field. I probably don't have but a couple hundred plants up right now. But at our max, we had about 3,000 plants.
Oh, wow.
And it was absolutely gorgeous. But problem was when I planted when I did the grading and the tilling, and then I did my hilling. I did the hilling vertically when I should have done it horizontally, if that makes sense. Well, I should have done it where the water ran, but I did it opposite.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So some water.
That's a live and learn.
It really is. It really is a live and learn. So, but I'm in the process now. We're correcting it, and so I expect it to do a lot better. Which it did great for 3 years, but like I said, once the water settled in, we had a couple bad winters. We lost a lot of plants, but it was just the way I planted them.
So, and you do sell the small lavender plants too at the farm, correct?
Yes, ma'am, we sure do. Yeah.
How many different types of lavender is it?
That we sell, or how
Yes,
many?
that you sell.
Okay, we usually sell probably several different types. We got anything from Grossos, the Munseed. The Grosso is grows really high, really tall. Munseed is it's a smaller plant. It doesn't grow probably about, I'd say, 1.5 feet, 2 feet tall.
That's the one that's a little more hardy.
It is more
Yeah.
hardy, absolutely. And then we have Grosso. There's several different types of lavender, but we just basically sell about 3 of them because there's only a few of them that work here in this area with
Yeah.
all this clay.
Yeah.
So that's the big thing. I mean, and then once again, when you do plant these lavenders, you've got to plant it on a hill because it's very important that the water will drain and it doesn't get soaked. And of course, the roots get really big after 2 or 3 years, and that's what usually dies first on those lavender plants. So the bigger the hill is, the less chance you have from the die.
That's probably why I lost mine.
Now, if they legalize marijuana in North Carolina, are you going to convert your farm?
Asking the important questions.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Never mind.
No, I could imagine.
No,
I was thinking about pre-rolled with lavender in it. You're talking about the most
There you go. Yeah, just do a crossbreed.
Yeah.
Some
Lavender-
buds.
No, like the pre-rolled with the.
Oh, I see what you take
Yeah.
the buds. and-
Lavender's already supposed to
Yeah,
relax
that's
you.
good.
So,
Yep.
yeah.
Sorry. You started talking about growing plants and stuff. I'm thinking, man, you could totally convert this operation into a weed growing. I'm trying
expand
to
it.
get you in trouble. I'm sorry.
No, just the idea, planning the idea so that it.
So we're allowed to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
I just love the idea of having a friend who grows pot.
Okay, so at the events, I like the fact that I can go and get fresh lavender for all kinds of stuff. But like at the events, they have one of my favorite things is they have apple cider that they put the lavender simple syrup in.
Yeah.
That tastes so
good.
good. Yeah, I bought a whole gallon off of them one time. I was like, please.
Is the farm itself open pretty much all the time?
No, actually, we're only open a few months a year.
Okay.
Everything else is by appointment only. We do a lot of, like say, weddings and I don't know, birthday parties, gender reveals. I mean, you name it. So our main months for growing lavender and selling lavender is probably May, June, and July.
Gotcha. So don't just go rolling up on there thinking you can come into the.
No, I mean, if the gate's open, you come on
Yeah.
in, but because there's somebody outside the gate's open. But usually, we if you want to come, there's no problem at all. We just ask to let us know beforehand. And I mean, we have people that do it all the time, and we'll let them come out there and pet the Highland cows or play with the baby goats or the pigs, and they come.
I mean, the opportunities are endless, man. I mean, you could do a winter wonderland around Christmas time.
And we did that about 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, we had.
Yeah.
I've got probably 20,000 Christmas lights right now. I've got to.
do a Whoville.
There you go.
So just something different. Everyone does winter wonderland. Maybe you do a Whoville.
Well, we had the train and the 2 trolleys.
Train.
Yeah, so we were
yeah,
actually going around the
train,
field with it.
Yeah.
And I had this. It's probably about I'd say at least 75 yards long. We had these long
Arches.
arches that had the LED lights on it, and you could sit from a block away.
It was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so we take.
Speaking of, what kind of neighbors have you got out there? Like
all the coolest we've
yeah,
ever.
so everyone's cool. When you've got like thousands of people out there, you don't have like a grumpy neighbor.
No,
like, "Ah."
we have most of our neighbors are farmers. My neighbor to the left of me, he owns the property, but he don't live there. He lives probably about a mile away, and he's got 7 more acres out there. But and then we got 300-something acres behind us. They don't live there. I've got 40 acres. My neighbor across the street's got 139 acres. So, and they promote me. They've got my all year long. They put the Dallas Lavender Lane Farm sign with a point across the street.
Yep.
Very cool.
Yeah, that way you don't miss the driveway.
Exactly. But and their family lives there, so everybody's just absolutely awesome. I couldn't live in a better place, to be honest with you.
Right on, man.
Yeah, they're no trouble whatsoever.
The more you talk about this place, the more I realize I've been there. And I just didn't realize the name of it. Yeah, Jade and I go out there all the time.
I was going to say
yeah.
when I
Yeah.
saw
Therefore.
when I saw the Fairy Festival
Yep.
thing, I was like, oh yeah, Bob and Jade are going.
Yep.
I'll tell you one thing I am curious about, because like one of my biggest struggles here is just getting people to show up for shit, right?
Yes, sir.
So, are you doing anything specific or different to promote your events that get a lot of it? Or are you noticing there are certain events that people will come to and won't? Talk a little bit about that.
What I try to do is I try to join a bunch of groups that are the same thing that the events I'm having. Like right now, I joined mermaid groups. I joined fairy groups. I've joined whirlwoods.
Like on social media?
Yeah, on
you
social
mean?
media, exactly. And you'd be surprised how many people are in these groups. I mean, it's
Yeah, they're a very tight, very gung-ho group of people.
it's almost like the Renaissance. They got the same mindset
Yeah.
as they do there. So on this, I mean, and just about anything. That's what I do. Is I try to. Now on the Hippie Fest, we had Chong do a commercial for us. Tommy Chong.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was really cool. He was.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was lit. He wasn't laying in the bed. He was just sitting there. He was trying to say the Dallas Lavender Lane Hippie Days Festival. He tried like 4 times.
That might.
They got a level, but hey, it was really the number one thing that's been watched. As far as the plays go on my story. At one time, we had over 5,000 plays. So
Nice.
yeah, I was pretty impressed with it.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so I mean, if you're out there and you're wanting to do a big event, reach out to my man Mark here at Dallas Lavender Lane Farms. Man, it's like I said, we're even in discussions about hosting something out there. For me, the fear is, will people come? We've all got these great ideas, and people come to me with like big ideas and good ideas. Sometimes I can't accommodate. Sometimes I'm not sure if I want to do it, and sometimes I'm jumping right in. And if you're looking for a big space, you want to get 1,000 or more people together.
Absolutely.
This is a great place to do it. You're right in the middle of the county. It's easy to get to. It's
really easy to get to.
and they know what they're doing out there. You don't really have like the problem with traffic being backed up for miles and stuff. You've got a great system out there.
I appreciate
and you
it,
run
buddy.
it well. I'm guessing some of that comes from a military background.
I would say so. That's probably some of the discipline. That's about where I got all my discipline as I was younger. But as I get older, I learned pretty quick.
That's crazy. When you were, which service were you in? I can't
I was in the Army.
remember. The Army.
Yes,
so
sir.
when you were running around as a young man in the arms, you ever think you'd be growing lavender and hosting fairy festivals?
And hippie festivals. Yeah.
No, I guess.
That was not on the
Not a
bucket
million
list.
years. No. That's the last thing probably on my mind.
It's cool, and one of my favorite things about you, Mark, is every time I see you, you've got a big smile on your face. Your attitude is perfect, man. I like surrounding myself with people that are like that have the right attitude, the right outlook on things. It's because as well as I do how hard it is to get anything done in the world today, and just to see people doing it with a positive attitude and the right energy out there, and it's working for you. You're how long have you had the farm now?
8 years.
8 years.
Yes, sir.
And still going.
Still going.
That's fantastic.
Well, I appreciate it. It's like I say, it's hard work, but it's a blessing, man. Every day I go home, I'm happy, just to be on the farm. I hate to go to work. Actually, that's sort of a lie, because usually when I go to work, it's a lot easier than working on the farms than when I'm staying home, because when we're on the farm, there's always something to do. Every day there's something to do.
It's different when you're building something for yourself, though.
It really is. It is. You don't mind as much, and you put there's a lot you put into it as well.
Yeah, because you don't have to do that. You're doing that for you. Your work I'm doing for somebody else.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
Right on. Well, anything else you want to share with the audience before we wrap
I just
up?
want to know that y'all did a great job. I mean, I've never done this before, so appreciate y'all making it so easy on me. And Mike, I'd love to talk more about having that festival with you, brother.
We will.
Okay.
We're going to get there. It's it's going to be the biggest thing I've ever done. So
Yes,
I want
sir.
to treat it with the reverence it deserves and not jump into it. So we're gonna figure that out. There's so much other shit happening all year round, so you got to find the right date, right weekend. Like,
Not too hot, not too cold.
not too hot, not too
Yeah, I
cold.
agree 100% on that.
So
Ooh, nice
we'll
fall.
and then we got to find the talent and figure it. But we'll figure it out. I'm sure if we do it, it'll be big. A lot of people will come, and just
Absolutely.
stay tuned for that. That'll be happening. It's Dallas Lavender Lane
.com. Yes, sir.
Check them out. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever. Keep up with their upcoming events, and go to the Enchanted Fairy Festival. When is that?
It's September 28th from 10 to 5.
September 28th.
And
A lot of hot chicks and skimpy fairy outfits.
absolutely free admission.
Thanks a lot, Mark.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Peace and love.